$87,000. Not a server farm, not headcount, not a data center lease. An AI agent. 4 months, a single product team. $87,000 in API inference bills. The CFO got the invoice on a Tuesday morning. By Thursday, 3 engineers were in a room explaining why they thought this was normal. It was not normal. And the number that broke the camel's back was not the total, it was the growth rate. Month 1, $4,000. Month 2, $11,000. Month 3, $28,000. Month 4, $44,000. That is not a linear cost curve. That is a geometric series. And if you do not know the difference, your finance team is about to teach you. This episode is about the architecture decision that caused it. One specific, well-documented, widely defended engineering shortcut, and why cloud vendors are quietly making billions from engineers who took it. The team was building an AI agent. The agent needed to read customer support history, internal documentation, and live product data to answer queries. Standard enterprise use case. They had 2 options. Option 1, build a retrieval system. Chunk the documents, embed them, store them in a vector database. At query time, retrieve only the relevant fragments. Pass maybe 5,000 to 10,000 tokens into the model per call. This required real data engineering work, 4 to 6 weeks of focused development, real upfront cost. Option 2, take the entire document corpus, every support ticket, every product spec, every internal wiki page, stuff the whole thing into the context window. Modern frontier models support up to 1 million tokens. Just pass it all in, every single call. The team chose option 2. The engineering manager called it pragmatic. He called it shipping fast. The CFO has a different word for it now. Here is the mechanic nobody explains clearly enough. Token pricing is not a flat fee. It is per token, per call. And context window tokens are billed on every single inference request. The team's agent was passing approximately 600,000 tokens of context per call. At $2.50 per million input tokens, that is $1.50 per call. That sounds small. The agent handled 800 calls per day at launch. That is $1,200 per day. $36,000 per month, before the user base grew. Month 2, active users doubled. Call volume hit 1,600 per day. The corpus had also grown. New documentation, more support tickets. Context size expanded to 750,000 tokens, $1.875 per call, 1,600 calls per day, $3,000 per day. $90,000 annualized, still growing. This is the geometric series. The cost function has 2 growth inputs compounding simultaneously, call volume and context size. Neither grows linearly in a live product. Both grow together. The multiplication is brutal. The $87,000 was not a bug. It was the predictable output of a cost function the team never modeled before they shipped. This is not a story about incompetent engineers. Uber's AI infrastructure team published a retrospective in late 2023. They documented an internal agent prototype that consumed 17 times more tokens per request than the production-grade equivalent built 4 months later with a proper retrieval architecture. 17 times. Same task, same accuracy threshold, different architecture. The difference was not model capability. The prototype team was under timeline pressure. 8 weeks to demonstrate value to a steering committee. They stuffed the full corpus into the prompt. The demo was impressive. Investment was approved. Then someone had to build it to scale. Uber's conclusion was precise. Prototyping cost is not production cost. Inference economics at 10 queries per day do not behave the same at 10,000. What passes a demo does not pass a finance audit. Most teams never read that retrospective. They repeat the experiment. They get the same invoice. Here is what the vendors do not advertise. When Anthropic announces a 1 million token context window, that is a technical capability statement. It is also a pricing opportunity statement. 1 million tokens at $3 per $1 million is $3 per call. 5,000 calls per day, $15,000 per day, $450,000 per month. One agent, one task. The vendor's incentive is not to help you use fewer tokens. The vendor's incentive is metered consumption. Every token you pass unnecessarily is margin for them and waste for you. Context window size is not a feature. It is a billing ceiling. And 68% of enterprise AI teams deploying agents in production are currently operating without a per-call token budget or a cost-per-query monitoring threshold. That figure comes from Andreessen Horowitz's 2024 Enterprise Infrastructure Survey. No budget, no ceiling, no alert. They are flying with no altimeter. The ground is the CFO's patience. The alternative is not complicated. It is just not free to build. Retrieval Augmented Generation, RAG. The pattern has existed since 2020. Here's what it looks like in plain terms. You take your document corpus. You break it into chunks, typically 512 to 1024 tokens each. You run each chunk through an embedding model, converting it into a vector. You store those vectors in a purpose-built database, Pinecone, Weaviate, PG Vector. At query time, you embed the user's query. You search the vector database for the top k most semantically relevant chunks. K is typically between 5 and 20. You pass only those chunks into the model. Instead of 600,000 tokens per call, you pass 8,000, maybe 12,000 for complex queries. At $2.50 per million tokens, the cost difference is $1.50 per call versus 2 cents. That is a 98.7% reduction in per-call inference cost. The upfront engineering investment to build a production-grade RAG pipeline, proper chunking, embedding refresh cycles, retrieval quality evaluation, is roughly 200 to 400 engineering hours. At a blended senior engineer rate of $150 per hour, $30,000 to $60,000. One time. Fixed scope, finite timeline. The team in this case study paid $87,000 in 4 months to avoid that investment. They are now rebuilding the architecture anyway, with the $87,000 already gone, non-recoverable. That is the lazy architecture tax. You defer the engineering cost. You pay it in perpetuity at the inference layer, with interest. There is one more variable that makes this worse. Context window performance degrades with size. The phenomenon is called lost in the middle. Research from Stanford and UC Berkeley, published in 2023 and replicated across multiple model families, shows that large language models systematically underperform on information retrieval tasks when relevant content is buried deep inside a very long context window. At 600,000 tokens, your agent is not reading all 600,000 tokens with equal fidelity. Attention resolution degrades sharply in the middle. That is where most of your document corpus lives. You are paying for 600,000 tokens. You are getting the cognitive yield of roughly 50,000. You are overpaying by a factor of 12 and getting worse answers. The full context approach costs more and performs worse at the same time. The decision matrix, no commentary. If your corpus is under 20,000 tokens and static, full context stuffing is defensible. Monitor it anyway. If your corpus exceeds 50,000 tokens or grows over time, the data mandates RAG, no exception. If your agent exceeds 500 calls per day, RAG pays for its own development cost within 60 days in virtually every scenario modeled. If you have no per-call token budget in production right now, you are not managing infrastructure. You are issuing a blank check to a metered API. 3 actions, now. 1. Pull your last 30 days of inference logs. Calculate average input token count per call. If it exceeds 50,000, you have a structural problem. 2. Model your cost curve at 10x current call volume. If the number is not survivable, your architecture will not survive your own growth. 3. Scope a RAG implementation as a capital project. Compare that fixed cost against your projected 12-month inference spend under the current architecture. The decision will make itself. The engineer who built the $87,000 agent was not malicious. He optimized for the wrong variable, shipping speed. Nobody asked him to model operational cost. That is a management failure, not an engineering failure. The question for everyone listening: do you know your cost per query for every agent running in production right now? Not your monthly invoice total. Cost per query, per agent, per day. If you cannot answer that in 30 seconds, you do not have an AI infrastructure strategy. You have a cloud vendor subscription you have not read the fine print on. The bill will clarify things. It always does. Subscribe to the Stack Anatomy. We'll see you in the next dissection.